Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Total War Warhammer replay. Today we have got TombKings versus Vampire Coast, and oh, isn't it just so beautiful when you counterpick someone and just, you know what they're going to take, so you just completely counterpick them. Isn't that just so satisfying? But basically, I have got High Queen Khalida, a beautiful queen herself. She of course has some very nice abilities. She has the Blessing of Asfa, I believe it is, which is missile damage, reload skill, and armor piercing missile. But yeah, I mean, that's the main reason you pretty much take her. And I've got two bone giants here, the big stomping brutes that they are. We get a nice little view on them. But of course these guys have got huge bows. They got 400, not 400, sorry, my bad. 574 missile damage, which is very, very nice. I didn't realize they have a bonus versus large. That's cool. I didn't even know that. But yep, these guys are really, really good to take against the Vampire Coast. And but basically, in the front line here, we have got Tomb Guard mixed in with some spearmen around here. I do believe I have some spearmen on this left. Well, on either flank, I have some Nekahara horsemen. They're shielded. They're pretty good at taking out, you know, gun lines or getting in the back line. We also have some carrions as well. But as my opponent, he does have two carronades, anti-large armor-piercing missiles. Very, very good at taking out constructs. He's got Count Noculus here. He's on his little, I keep forgetting what you call these damn things, but he's on one of these weird pirate ship things. And basically, yeah, he's got, you know, zombie pirate deckhand mobs. He's got some gunnery, well, hand crews basically, and some bombers. But what I'm doing is I've taken two bone giants, and two bone giants are just so damn good. I've got pictures incarnation of righteous smithing, which gives armor piercing missile damage and just normal missile damage, which, you see, these guys can go head to head with anything on the Vampire Coast roster. Literally, you know, see, look how much damage he's getting shot. He's getting shot by both carronades right now, and he's taking, you know, he's not getting hit by it, but in return, we are, you know, just doing so much damage to these carronades in return. So if you're ever wanting to go for a gunfight against the Vampire Coast, just bring two bone giants. You counter them so easily. I mean, let me tell you right now, and I'll explain why this works so well. I've gone up against TombKings playing as the Vampire Coast. I've taken 3 Necrofex Colossuses. I've taken 3 of these, and I've taken 2 carronades, and I still lost to 2 bone giants. And it's just insane. So literally, you are just going to force the Vampire Coast to come towards you at all costs. So I say 2 bone giants firing off. We've almost killed 1 carronade. The other one has taken a lot of damage. Count Noculus is shooting in. Of course, he has some nice summons abilities here. I've got my carronades sort of, you know, juking around, trying to get on those deck droppers, but I mean, he's sort of keeping them near his gun line so he can shoot at them. But we have pretty much taken down 1 carronade here completely, and you know, that just shows how efficient the bone giants can be. This one has also taken damage. It's only got 1 of its crew left online, and then literally my opponent's going to have nothing left. Doing so much damage. The crew is almost dead. They are crumbling here, and I know it's beautiful. I just love it so much because I completely counterpicked them. Of course, I do have a Lich Priest over here. Basically, this guy does have a nice ability, which is the oh, where are you? Where is that nice ability that you have? Well, basically, oh, there it is. Yeah, the incarnation of righteous smithing gives that armor piercing missile damage and missile damage as well. But as you can see, you know, that carronade is basically fully offline, and now we are just shooting into Count Noculus now. 1 bone giant though has taken a lot of damage, and this one was taking a lot of the incoming fire from both carronades and Count Noculus. But I mean, we still have 1 bone giant fully online here. Queen Khalida doing what she does. You know, this is exactly why you bring Queen Khalida. She buffs these guys up, beautifully. You know, in with a Lich Priest as well, you're going to be buffing them up even more, and you can just go head to head with all the missile damage. Count Noculus here does summon some zombie pirate gunnery mobs, which is why I start to bring some skeleton warriors forward. I start to bring my Tomb Guard forward. I do have some Nekahara horsemen on this left flank over here, sort of ready to get into the back line here, maybe get on some zombie pirate gunnery mobs. But as you say, if I brought, you know, any constructs, any necro sphinxes or anything like that, they just would have been killed so quickly. So if you're ever worried against Vampire Coast, bring bone giants. Bone giants just, you know, completely, you know, smeg over or fuck, you know, the Vampire Coast. This one's almost fully crumbled though, but now we are shooting into Count Noculus here, and Count Noculus is starting to take a lot of damage here. He is really starting to take damage. I mean, he's down to what, 5,000 HP right now. I mean, yes, he can fire back, but he just doesn't do enough back. I mean, look how much health this will do. So that takes about 600 health off, which is just beautiful, and both of them shooting at him, he is really taking a lot of damage. I mean, this bone giant though is on the verge of crumbling, but he's done his job. He's helped take out 2 Carronades, which is just absolutely beautiful. We do have another, oh no, I keep forgetting what, you know, not Warp Storm. Count Noculus is a good old ability here. Which one is the Wraith Storm? Is it Wraith Storm? Yeah, Wraith Storm, yeah. Does have Wraith Storm coming down. Doesn't do that much damage though. But I say Count Noculus on the verge of dying now. And then literally when you've killed Count Noculus, all I have to do is just move in with the rest of my troops and it's basically GG. On this right flank though, my opponent wasn't really checking over here. And I do get a nice little charge on his Scurvy Dogs here. With the Nekahara Horsemen, they're going to actually win that engagement very nicely and send those Scurvy Dogs off. We have got the Skeleton Warriors in the front line here engaging with the Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mob, and that's absolutely fine because these guys have shields, they're meant to tar pit, they're meant to take out these units. Count Noculus though is retreating here, taking so much damage, you know, really just doesn't like any of those Bone Giants, but this Bone Giant is now actually out of ammunition, so for all good it was worth, I actually haven't been able to kill Count Noculus now, so now we are going to go for a zombie versus zombie or undead versus undead grind here. Tomb Guard are going to be able to clear up a lot of this front line, but my opponent does have some bombers, and these guys are really good at dealing with Tomb Guard. They basically chuck these little like sort of AoE bombs onto the Tomb Guard, and they can do a lot of damage. Of course, their shields don't negate this, so it's really worth taking like things like bombers. But right now, all I'm trying to do is get into the back line, get the grind fest starting. My opponent still does have the Lamprey's Revenge. These guys, of course, regen, armor piercing. They are defenders as well, which, you know, they're really good to get into melee and just, you know, tank the front line. But these guys are going to be very hard to kill because they don't really have any fire capabilities. And, of course, these guys do have weakness to fire. That Bone Giant now, though, is taking a bit of a brunt of the fire, which I'm absolutely fine with. I don't mind the Bone Giant taking that much damage. I mean, he's done his job. He's done what he needs to do. But now, my main sort of job right now was to start the grind fest and get Queen Khalida on Count Noculus. That is my goal right now. If I get Queen Khalida on Count Noculus, then I can just literally, you know, shut down this game. But getting to Count Noculus is a very, very risky, you know, sort of situation because the Lamprey's Revenge are there, and you know, Queen Khalida, as good as she is, she's not really designed to be in prolonged combat. You got to sort of, you know, she's a bit of a glass cannon. You send her in, you attack, you pull back out because you're really quite fast. You've got 66 speed, you have got poison, some nice armor piercing damage, but you have to be very, very careful. So basically, what I'm doing with her right now is I'm getting into the Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mobs. I'm sort of tying them up a little bit. My opponent still does have some deck droppers online here. I don't think he's sort of targeting them. We do have another Wraith Storm, I believe, coming down here. Another Wraith Storm coming down. Does, you know, nice amount of damage. I mean, Queen Khalida doesn't really have any regen other than the normal TombKings regen. She doesn't have any proper regen or any heal abilities. But as I said, the Tomb Guard have pushed through the front line here. They've killed a lot of the Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mobs, or not Zombie Pirate Mobs, or Deckhand Mobs, and are now pushing through. I wanted to keep these Spearmen alive because I need them for the Lamprey's Revenge. The Bone Giant here, you know, 64 kills now, and that is with taking out the Carronades. Done a really good job swiping some not skeletons, these were skeletons, swiping some zombies here in the name of the TombKings. As you can see though, these bombers here do a lot of damage to TombKings. I mean, TombKings are very expensive. I mean, of course, they will win that matchup once they get into combat with them, but the bombers, if they can get those shots off, they actually can really take out a lot of these models. The Lamprey's Revenge, though, do actually catch my Lich Priest here. But my Lich Priest, I wasn't too bothered about. I mean, I was like, you know what, fuck it, have my Lich Priest. Because, I mean, he's done his job. The main reason I brought this guy was to buff up the Bone Giants. So, yeah, he's pretty much on the verge of decaying. He's being, you know, gang banged by lots of little crabbies here, you know, which you know, is okay. And he does go down. But Queen Khalida here, this is exactly what I want, the situation I wanted to get into. Now I can go one-on-one with Count Noculus here. And this is exactly what I want. I do use Tomb Strike here to, of course, get some more weapon damage and melee attack. And now, the thing is, Count Noculus isn't fast enough to outrun me. There is a bit of a glitch, you know, not a glitch, but a bit of a bug here where you sort of like, you don't attack him as he's running away. Of course, Count Noculus can shoot while running away. But if I get rid of Count Noculus, then I know I can win this match. I mean, the balance of power right now is in my opponent's favour, which isn't too great for me. I mean, my Tomb Guard is sort of faltering in the front line. I do have a few here and there, but they are taking a lot of damage from the bombers. And my one chance of winning this is killing Count Noculus. Because if I get rid of Count Noculus, then of course everything on my opponent's side will start to decay. And that was the initial plan here. But he is shooting into me with the Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mobs. We have got, you know, some Zombie Pirate Deckhand Mobs. But, you know, Vampire Coast, they are the only ones who can summon stuff, as we all well know. And of course, I do have my Shabati in the back, you know, pocket here, ready to bring them up. And I do see a nice blob of infantry here, so I do bring up the Shabati now, locking down this gunrun crew and forcing them to fight now, which is exactly what I want. And these guys are just going to absolutely molest these Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mobs. As you can see, anti-infantry, armor piercing. These guys are designed to take out these squishy, you know, shitty zombie units. But Count Noculus here, 270 HP, is being chased down now by Queen Khalida here. Literally fighting for his life now, 200 HP, walking away on that little peg leg. and it looks like Queen Leader is going to be able to take him out here. I mean, my opponent probably should have sent the Lamprey's Revenge in, but as I say, they are sort of tied up by the Bone Giant and some Spearmen. Queen Leader is coming in for the final attack here. I do believe I kill him with the poison ability here, and Count Noculus does fall here. His leg falls off, and he falls down and dies, which is beautiful. So now the balance power goes right back into my favour here. The Bone Giant up to 87 kills, such an MVP for this match, clubbing some Lamprey's Revenge here. Of course, these guys do have regen, so I mean they will stay alive for so long. But the Bone Giant does finally fall. He has done his job amazingly. He's killed the Carronades. He's taken out a lot of these zombie units. And now, basically, we are just cleaning up here. The Shabbaty are coming in with those armor piercing. They're going to be really good at taking out some Lamprey's Revenge. They have got anti-infantry, but you know, still armor piercing is always going to be good. These Spearmen are here as well, backing up against the Lamprey's Revenge. And now with Queen Leader, I'm just being very, very careful because, you know, the Lamprey's Revenge, they're a hard unit to kill. They have a lot of regen, they have a lot of health, and if they get on Queen Leader, they could actually kill her here. I mean, she doesn't have like the best defense. I mean, 90 armor, 60 melee defense, not too bad for a lord, but you know, you still have to be very, very careful. Of course, these guys do have little gun crews on the back of them, which are shooting while they're moving around. As I say, all my opponents pretty much just got left is the Lamprey's Revenge and these sort of like deck droppers over here. Oh, I don't know what we're going over there. The deck droppers over here. I mean, they did a little bit of work. They got 29 kills, not too bad, but my opponent's sending them in here. But these Spearmen here, you know, the Tomb Guard in there, helping out with the Lamprey's Revenge. And now, literally, I am just waiting for everything to crumble because that's, you know, I mean, these guys, they aren't going to be able to win this match on their own. I mean, this is what the Lamprey's Revenge is such a good unit. I mean, look how much these guys are tanking. Their Lord is dead, and they're still tanking all this time. They're still doing a lot of damage here. And I've still got to be really careful with Queen Leader because if you send her in against all these units, it's going to be very good. But this is exactly why I love this matchup. TombKings versus Vampire Coast. If you're ever struggling, bring the Bone Giants. It's just such a counter pick for your opponent. And finally, the Lamprey's Revenge do buy. But oh man, very well played to my opponent. But I'm sorry, but you just got outpicked in this game. I mean, it's just like, you know, because if I brought anything else, I would have lost. Let's be honest here. If I'd taken, you know, Necro Sphinxes, if I'd taken a Shabbaty with great bows, I most likely would have lost. But taking Bone Giants, I knew that then my opponent had to come to me, and that's just the pressure you can put on them. But thank you very much for watching. Well played to my opponent, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.